Hey, Journal Goddesses, it is time for our weekly oracle, but we're going to change it up a little bit. We are going to journal with the goddess. 3 questions with you, me, and goddess. Now, before we get started, I want to say we're going to be using a couple of my favorite goddess oracle decks, and I'm going to do this program. I'm going to be doing these oracle readings for the next couple of times, so that way I can get a good feel for how this is, because this is a little bit different than what I'm used to doing, but not that I'm not used to connecting with goddess, but I haven't made videos about goddess for as big a part of my life as being a priestess of the goddess is. I haven't really been doing videos, so bear with me, and I hope this ends up being a rich and juicy session for you as my excitement translates through here, okay? So let's start out the way we always do, by taking a nice deep breath and checking in with your body. How are you doing, body? And you may even want to give yourself a quick check on all the realms. How are you doing physically? How are you feeling? Are you noticing any tightness or tension in your body? How are you doing emotionally? That's the water realm. Physical would be the earth. How are you doing mentally? That's the air realm. How are you doing energetically? How's your energy levels? That's the fire realm. And then how are you doing spiritually? Obviously, that's the spirit realm. All of these realms combine to make up the beautiful being that is you. And if you notice anything that is just kind of out of balance or out of whack, now that you've taken this time to just notice, give yourself permission to just be with that and fix it later or not. Some things are yours to fix and others are not. So when you go in to look and see if there's anything that needs to be done, ask yourself, is this mine to fix? So I am very, very excited. Now I have 2 goddess oracle decks that I really enjoy working with. And just before I pushed play on this or record on this video, I decided that I would start out by using the Goddess Oracle by Amy Sophia Marashinsky and Janto. Now this was the first oracle deck of the goddess that I got, and let me show you. I use this a whole lot, so much so that the the cover here for the box has broken off, even though I've taped it back together multiple times. I carry this deck. I used to carry this deck with me a lot. Now that I'm not moving around as much, after all of these years, I have a home base of operations. I just have this deck out. So I've already taken the liberty of pulling out one goddess to work for us to work with. So this week our goddess is Eurynome, with the message of ecstasy, okay? And so I want to read you just a little bit. I'm not going to read the entire thing here, but I want to read you just a little bit, just to kind of get your mind wrapped around this goddess and her message of ecstasy. So make yourself super comfortable, okay? So let's see. She says, when I awakened and arose out of the swirling, seething chaos, seeing no other way to express the sheer delight, the wild exhilaration, the explosion of energy I felt, I began to dance my exuberance, that feeling of floating on a sea of rapturous joy, lost and transported in the intensity of ecstasy. Now, the meaning of the word ecstasy is to have this really strong emotion. Usually it is considered to be a joyful thing, but I personally think that you can be ecstatic and it be a little overwhelming. Now, the part of the thing that goes on with us right now is that we tend to indulge in escapism rather than feeling true ecstasy, just feeling that true deep down delight in being exactly where we are. I'm a little strange in that when I am going through something challenging, I feel most ecstatic because I have tools to deal with that. And that's part of my default training. There was a lot of abuse in my home of origin, and so I feel more comfortable in traumatic and dramatic situations than sometimes I do with joyful situations. Now, I have trained myself out of that, but I notice that I can fall into those default patterns. Okay, so your 3 questions to journal with is: how comfortable are you in allowing yourself to experience ecstasy? That enormous delight, overwhelming, delightful sensation. How comfortable are you with feeling ecstasy? So I'm going to give you about 2 minutes here to journal with that. All right. Wrapping that up. Had to write another word. Okay. So now your second question with this goddess. What would it look like if you allowed yourself to experience ecstasy? What would that look like? And for this one, this was kind of a multi-part. You might, I just talked about looking like, so that's kind of the mental realm, kind of visioning. What would that, check in on all the realms. What would that feel like? What would that look like? What would that, what would your physicality be? Would you be hunched over? Would you be more open? Would you be moving? Would you be moving ecstatically? What would your spirit be like? What would it be like to experience ecstasy on a regular basis? There's that extra little piece. What would your physical body look like if you regularly experienced ecstasy? Okay? All realms, okay? wrapping that journaling up. I'm hoping you're getting some juicy stuff. So, guys, I'm getting some really good stuff here too. So I'm hoping that that's transmitting to you as well. Okay, so your third question for this goddess: how can you bring more ecstasy into your week? More moments of inspired, ecstatic delight and joy. How can you bring more of that into your life this week? Okay, 2 minutes. And bringing that journaling to a close. Beautiful. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. I've included some information about Eurynome down below in the box, in the description box, if you wanted just a little bit more background information to connect with this goddess. And I also try and include some links to some pictures. Sometimes when I'm working with specific goddesses, if with my oracle deck, which is why it's so why the box is so broken up, if I'm working with a goddess, I'll pull out the picture and I'll just set it up on a little altar with a candle and maybe some incense, just something to help focus, just as I would sit and pay attention to somebody who I'm having a conversation with. That's what I set up the altar for. So again, if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. And if you have not already, please subscribe to my channel and be part of the In the Know squad by ringing that bell so you can get a notification when I upload new videos. I am sending you so much love and joy and ecstasy for this week, and I will see you next week. Oh, one more thing. If you would like to connect deeper to goddesses and see how their stories and their wisdom can help you be more in a leadership position in your life and business, I hope you will consider joining me for a new e-course that I am teaching called Radiant Divine Feminine Leadership Powers. I am so excited to be teaching this. It is a phenomenal program. We look at 6 different goddesses and we talk about how you can connect with their power in order to infuse your life with their power. So I'll put the link for information for that down below, and I will see you later. Bye-bye.